we took one family vacation my entire youth. We went to El Paso, Texas for the weekend. That was it. That was the one family vacation that we ever took. And because ranching and farming is so tough to make money at, a lot of them have to take supplemental jobs. So my dad took a supplemental job that paid the most. And you use your back. It was at a steel mill that's near my hometown. And he worked there. He ended up working there 43 years. But that was his supplemental job.
Yeah.
To help pay for the other stuff he did. And when he first started working there, they would work him like 6 months of the year. And then it'd be like 6 months a year as hard as he could work. And then it's like, oh, now you're laid off for 6 months. Said it worked really good to have this other job to fall back on. But when I was young, he swung a 35-pound sledgehammer for 5 years for 50 hours a week. And it was hard work.
Yeah. Ranching and working at the steel mill.
So it was tough. It was really tough on him. And he never, ever complained. He just, in his way of doing things was always, you either do or you don't. He never wanted to hear you try. Try was not really in his vocabulary. You did it or you didn't. And that's how he brings you up, you know. And I have one sister, so we both grew up in that same kind of environment that you're only as good as your last accomplishment. Is like, you know, did you complete the task? You did. And if you didn't, you know, try again. It wasn't okay, good enough, you know. So that was a different environment to wake up in and every day and work hard. And of course, I went to school, and the school doesn't even have a name. It's just a county high school. It's called County High School. They don't even give, in most schools, you get really nice names like, you know, FDR High School. It's named after somebody. No, I went to County High School. So but all of those kids at this school were all sons of ranchers and farmers and stuff. So it was good. And what you was asking about. So probably the toughest conversation that I had, it was my dad set me down maybe 16 because I graduated at 17. So he set me down and said, you got two choices really in life. You can take a job where you're going to use your back, and that job's going to pay well. And someday your back's going to be wore out and you're going to be old and decrepit. Look at half the people around here, farmers, ranchers, steel mill. Or you can take a job that you use your brains. And if you use your brains, you can do that the rest of your life. The only caveat to that is find something that you can get paid to do using your brains that you really enjoy. Don't take a job that you just go to and just mindlessly do it because you'll never be happy. And then that happiness goes to your family and everything else. And it was probably some of the best advice he ever gave me because he said, you can always come back to your back. If you're doing a job using your brains and it falls through or something unplanned happens, you can always take a job swinging a sledgehammer. Yeah. It pays.
Yep.
So that was very good advice that he gave me. But then that led into the next conversation that we had, which was tough for him. He's like, okay, what do you think you want to do with your life? And I was like, you know, I've never been anywhere. I've lived within so many miles of this house my whole life. I'd like to see other things. And he was very open with me, which is very rare for my dad, where he said, you know, I was the same way. I wanted to be a biologist. I wanted to be in the mountains and work for like the Division of Wildlife, but it wasn't in the cards for me. I had to take a job with my back because I had a family to support and we had to do this. So he didn't take that path.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what are you saying? He says, well, you've got a couple of choices. You can keep going down the same path and you'll be a mirror image of me, which he'll be perfectly happy with. Or he said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I think I'd like to go do something else. So at that particular time in my life, I always thought I wanted to design aircraft. So I had set up myself that I wanted to go to Florida State and be an aeronautical engineer. Talked about it since 6th grade. And my entire time in high school, I took every math class and science class I could take. I even took classes at the local community college while still in high school because I took all the classes the high school offered. And I wanted more. I took classes and stuff, and it hurt me a little bit in the sense that back then they didn't have honors classes. So if you got a B in differential equations at the community college, it went on your transcripts as a B. So in my high school class, I was barely in the top 100 for like GPA. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. Then I was like, well, hey, I'm taking these tough classes and they're tough.
Yeah.
You know, and nowadays they give away.
They weight them differently.
They weight them much differently because my son just got through high school. Yeah, you take that class now, they give you all these plus. You can have a better than 4.0 GPA. Yeah. I was like, well,
You can have a yeah.
I wish they would have had that. But we waited, and the steel mill was down at this particular time. Ranching was terrible in the mid-'80s. They were spending every dime they had just to keep things afloat. And we just had a really good talk. And I talked to my dad and said, it doesn't look like college is in my future. He's like, well, at that time, they didn't have the loans and stuff they have now. And if you grow up in ranch country, you don't borrow money you just don't borrow money
from the bank. It wasn't the government that was giving the money back then.
You don't borrow money unless it's absolutely necessary. You do without, or you make things work.